in the room. Come on in the room. The Bucks win at 114-109 over the Orlando Magic. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all of our scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. As the cream to the cross of the Groove Trail third.
JT.
Chris King.
Justin.
Yeah. Everybody's in the building tonight. 114-109. The Milwaukee Bucks win the quarterfinal matchup, Emirates NBA Cup, advancing to Las Vegas. They go, Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. The Bucks are in the, hey, we in the house, baby. 114-109 beating the Orlando Magic. Lot to get into, lot to talk about on a night like tonight. Listen, man, what JT always says, you gotta take the pretty with the gritty. Tonight was a gritty win for the Milwaukee Bucks. They had to get it done. Orlando's shorthanded. But at the end of the day, you had to figure out a way to get to Las Vegas. And I'll say this before we get started. I'll just say this. At the end of the day, when we look back on this season, we won't look back and think about how Orlando was missing this guy or that guy. You'll look back at when it's all said and done. You'll look back and you'll stack this one up as another W. So I want to keep that in the front of my mind and the frame of reference as we get into this. Get at us on the YouTube in the chat. We'll talk to you guys there. And then on the Twitter at TCIESQ. Let's do a game recap and get through this thing and get this thing started. 37-7, 1 assist, 2 steals, 4 blocks for Giannis, 15 for 24 from the field, 7 of 12 from the line, including 2 clutch free throws at the end of the basketball game. Like I say, don't hit them all the time, but he hit them when he needed them. Under 60% from the free throw line, not very good. But when he needed those buckets, when he needed those free throws to go in, I think it was it a 3-point game at that point to get it to 5, to get it to 2 possessions. Giannis does what he needs to do, gets it there. Did have 6 turnovers tonight. Damian Lillard, 28, 9 assists from Damian Lillard, playmaking, 8 of 15, 2 of 5 from 3. Hey, what'd you say? What'd I say, do JT when Dame goes to the free throw line?
It's going in.
Go to the bathroom. Go get your snacks. Go do whatever you got to do because it is automatic from the line. Damian Lillard was 10 of 10 from the line tonight. He had 4 turnovers. So Giannis, Dame between the two, 10 turnovers. Brook Lopez, 7 points, 6 rebounds tonight. Andre Jackson, amazing. Starts the game and plays 8 minutes. 8 minutes of basketball tonight. He started the game and he started the second half and finished with 8 minutes of play, 5 points, 2 rebounds for Andre Jackson Jr. AJ Green, 9 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. He is 3 for 8 from 3, but I think 2 of those threes came in the fourth quarter. Clutch 3-pointers from AJ Green. And Bobby Portis, the man of the hour. 31 minutes, 50 seconds of game time for Bobby Portis. 22, 10 and 4. He went 9 of 10 the other night. He was 9 for 11 tonight. 2 of 3 from 3-point, plus 11 on the night. Bobby Portis putting in work. Chris Middleton couldn't score the ball. He's still working on that shot. 4 rebounds, 8 assists for Chris Middleton tonight. And then Gary Trent with 6 points as well. You look on the other side of things, Orlando, man, some really great performances. Goga Bidazzi, 12. I might have messed it up. 12 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. Wendell Carter Jr., 8 points, 11 boards, 5 assists. De Silva, 6 points. Jalen Suggs, my God. Talk about, I didn't know what happened. I came in, y'all was talking about hair restoration. I'm assuming y'all were talking about Jalen Suggs.
Hey,
he had 30.
Go check out the hair report.
Yeah,
come on now,
man. 32-9. He did have 4 steals, 12 for 26, 3 of 11 from 3. Man, Jalen Suggs was all over the place. The Bucks couldn't find a way to stop him. Again, guard play. Rough on the Milwaukee Bucks defense. Caldwell Pope, 7 points. Mo Wagner, 13 points for him, 3 rebounds. And then Black with 17. And Cole Anthony is really falling off a little bit. 4 points, 2 assists from him. Let's say that, I mean, here's the thing. The way this thing started, I believe the Bucks were up 1 at the half. They played the first half was not good. Turnovers all over the place. Let me see how many turnovers. The Milwaukee Bucks ended with 16 turnovers tonight compared to Orlando's 13. The 3-point shot didn't roll quite like you went to, 11 for 30 from the 3, but you held Orlando to 6 of 27. So that was a big saving point for the Bucks there. This is a gritty, talk about gritty. This is a gritty Orlando team, a gritty Orlando game. And if you're an Orlando Magic fan, you should be happy with the performance that your team put on tonight. Missing Paolo Banchero, missing Franz Wagner. You're missing those guys, and you came to play on the road in Milwaukee, a chance to go to the NBA Cup semifinals out in Vegas. So not high profile, but there's some should have been some juice to the game. And the Bucks really didn't bring the intensity. I thought Orlando was able to punk them a little bit, punch him in the mouth, and then came the wave in the third quarter with Giannis doing what he does. And I mean, to me, this game started. It wasn't even like a great Giannis game to start us off, but again, he 37-7, 2. It's just tough to when you look at Giannis. Always finishes well. I think he had 32 going into the fourth. He had an excellent third quarter that he pulled off there, and then you have the Bucks got down. It's crazy. I put a live bet in on DraftKings when the Bucks went down 3. I believe it was 106-103, and I should have put more. I should be rich. I should be quitting this show right now. I should have put my mortgage on the Bucks. That was it was plus 220. When I was crazy, I was waiting the entire fourth. I'm refreshing draft. I'm just waiting on us to get into some plus money. And the Bucks finally got down 3 with 1:13 to go. And I hit it immediately because there's no way they're losing this basketball game. Damian Lillard came right down, hit a 3 right there, and then the rest, as they say, is history. But again, turnovers were the story of the game. Getting punched in the mouth was the story of the game for me. And the Bucks, again, they won the game, but they should have won the game. Like, they were a better basketball team. They have more depth. They have more stars. They had more everything than Orlando. I was concerned that it took this much to beat the Orlando Magic in a game where you had a chance to go to the NBA Cup. Giannis had already said that he wanted Liam Robbins to get a house out in Iowa, wherever the hell he wants a house at. And they need to win the NBA Cup for Liam Robbins to do that. So I was a little bit disappointed with what I saw, but you get the win, 114-109. You advance to Las Vegas. That's what I saw, JT. What you say?
Man, a lot of the same things you saw tonight, sir. One thing I'll say is I do think, and I want to give credit to this man because we have talked about him a lot on the show. But Bobby Portis tonight, right? At one point, I think in that second, Bobby was like 7 for 7. I mean, he only missed 2 shots tonight, but Bobby, just that shooting efficiency coming out, swinging and doing that, and how that really helped the team tonight. I mean, Bobby Portis was that guy. He was that third scorer. You knew Giannis and Dame were going to eat. They always do. Who else is going to step up? And in a night where a lot of your other guys, like AJ Green, Brook, guys that you look to, even Chris, really kind of step up. Bobby Portis stood in the gap and did his thing. So you 100% got to give him credit for that. Another thing, man, you talk about that third quarter where it was a slow quarter for the Bucks, right? The Bucks, they only had like 20 points. Like you said, it was a little more of that Giannis Dame show. But boy, what happened to the Magic in that third quarter? They looked, if the Bucks looked bad, they looked awful. Absolutely awful. I don't know if they went in there and ate. You remember when y'all was kids, you made oranges at halftime of games and stuff like that. They must have gave them boys baked potatoes at halftime because, man, they came out looking all kind of sluggish in that third quarter. But again, the one last point, and you made this point about Chris. So Chris, from a shooting perspective tonight, right, just did not have it, and really didn't even try to have it. Right, he was 0 for 2. He didn't shoot a whole lot of shots. Did impact the game with assists, but also Chris had 3 steals tonight. And did you see that? Chris ran the floor, went down there, you saw Chris got that sprint down the court, had an assist to Giannis. Okay, Chris, get the knees up. And I think as someone who, because I don't think Chris has ever been fast, but I think as someone who we've been concerned about declining athleticism, good to see him get a little stride there, right? Good to see him fly down the court, get a little stride there. But that's what I saw.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to kind of be super pumped about this win because there is obviously the no Wagner and no Banchero looming. So that's kind of hanging over your heads. And I thought this was very sloppy basketball. Again, I thought it really popped off of the TV screen how slow we really might be. I think Orlando had an attack of guards that really exposed some of our on-ball perimeter defense that we're supposed to be having. Now, granted, I'll give it to AJ Green. He spends a lot of effort on the offensive side. He's put together a couple of really good offensive performances and defensive performances. But tonight, man, the speed was just it was another level from the Orlando Magic. So that was something to talk that I saw. And then offensively, AJ Green wasn't good, and here's why. I think his timing was really bad. Like he didn't know whether to shoot when he was open or when he was guarded. He would just let it go. So sometimes that kind of stuff happens. And then Chris offensively, yeah, we'll talk about Chris. I'm fully expecting him to get back to where Chris Middleton should be. I just think that tonight it was just another case of him being a little rusty, trying to bank shots in that maybe you should just be going straight for net and then, missing easy ones. But I think the looks are there, and you could see how that would impact the offense if those are going down. Giannis, incredible game from Giannis. I thought he was the only guy on the defensive end that really posed a threat on the interior. Like I thought Brook was a step slow. A lot of floaters went over his outstretched hand. Giannis was getting back in transition, pinning stuff off the glass. He was dunking on one end and then going back and running back and dunking something and blocking something on the other end. Like Giannis is the best two-way player I've watched in a while, and probably the best two-way player in the game right now, the best in the game, in my opinion. And yeah, I love to see that from Giannis, picking up his teammates when nothing's really working on the defensive end. The straight line drives are a problem. Like I said, I think that's the Orlando guard attack that we just watched tonight. But yeah, all in all, man, it's hard for me to be super impressed with this win, but it is a win over a team that's over 500. So good stuff. And I can't let you go without shouting out Dame. I mean, it's been so fun to watch. It's been so fun to watch a guy that you could really rely on. Now, we've seen a lot of that with Chris throughout the past couple of years, but to see it at this level and this frequent with Dame, it's so awesome to watch. So shout out to Dame.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, what Doc Rivers said in his post-conference, both teams played good defense tonight. He felt both ways. He felt that zone really disrupted Orlando's rhythm. And he only likes to use that in the third quarter because he doesn't like to allow the other team to get a chance to make adjustments to it before he can implement it. He thought the Magic is very well coached, and I 100% agree with that. Cash Money Middleton has just a great IQ of basketball. Again, I think we've said that since he's came back. But one of the things he talked about is just how he found a way to get Giannis going and get other guys going on the team. I know he had 4 turnovers at one time, but he followed up with like 4 straight assists on 4 straight buckets, which was key. He said Dame fought through it. Wasn't the best shooting night, wasn't the worst shooting night, but he found a way. A lot of his shots were on line, on target. The reason why Bobby's playing so much better is because Bobby emotions are in check. And the Bucks just don't want to win to get to Vegas, but they're going to Vegas to win it all. It's a business trip. It's not a pleasure trip.
Stay off that strip.
Suggs in the fourth quarter just made crazy, impressively tough shots. They played decent, good defense on him, and the cat just hits buckets, man. And then he closed it out with just talking about the switches at the end of the game with Ajax and AJ Green. Thought it was a much better than the Houston game where we kind of got away with a lucky throwaway pass. And that kind of leads me into where was Ajax at for half of that fourth quarter, man, when Suggs is going crazy. I think we got to put that guy in the game, man. I mean, you guys hit the nail on the head with Dame and Giannis. I mean, them guys are crazy. It's crazy the way that they go. Man, Bobby. Like, we back again for another one, right? And then AJ Green, I thought sometimes he made timely shots, and one of his threes that he hit was called off because it was a foul before he hit the 3, which, I mean, it was a legit call or whatever. I mean, talk a little bit about, and I know Chris said he wasn't impressed with this win, but I was impressed with this win because I think Jamal Mosley's one of the most underrated coaches, by the way, born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, most underrated coaches in the entire NBA. He's going to get his guys up and ready to play. You saw a lot of what John Hammond does. John Hammond gets big, long, athletic guys in the game. They're going to play good defense, and we saw that tonight. And, hey, man, lastly, man, I know Vegas Brown, and it just sucks when Bobby's picking it up. Brook is kind of falling off a little bit.
Yep.
We need both these guys to cohesively come back together, man. A little bit better basketball. But, great win. We going to Vegas. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, a lot of good points all the way around. I think that's what's kind of scary is, again, I want to stay in the moment, but when you talk about a championship basketball team, to win a championship, this Milwaukee Bucks team, and that's why if you were watching TNT before a pregame, you hear Chuck saying they ain't got it. I think Shaq also said, I don't think they're going to win the championship. You see some of why. I mean, I understand, but you see some of why people look at this team and go, "This don't look like Boston." And Chuck said he didn't think that the Bucks could beat Boston. He didn't think they could beat Cleveland in a series. He didn't think the Bucks could beat New York in a series. He didn't think the Bucks could beat the Orlando Magic healthy in a series. You see some of why they say that. I'm not saying I see the face you're giving me. I'm just saying it's not out of bounds to say that kind of stuff. Whether I believe it, whether we believe it or not, you're not out of line when you start talking like that, because these are the type of performances that you look at and you go, I can only judge you based on what I see. And when I see something like that, I would immediately think, oh, put Paolo in and put Franz Wagner in. Oh, them boys in trouble. That's all I'm saying, and I could see it. Now, going back to your point, I do want to talk about, because I know people are going to go, dang, you said that. I said Dame. And it's crazy because I'm looking at the three that he hit when the Bucks went down 106-103, and he hits the three. Just watch how much more in rhythm he looks when he takes that three versus with, I think it was the possession or two before, where he's stumbling around and about falling down. And again, he wants to take it, and I get it. Dame is your late game playmaker, your closer. It's Dame time at the end of games. And like you said, Doc Rivers said he kind of fought through it. I thought some of the same. Thought he had to fight through a little bit. But Damian Lillard, if you look at that three, he's coming down the floor. And I mean, it was the little James Harden-esque kind of back. That's an in rhythm look for Damian Lillard. Those are the shots you take into games. That's what I like to see. And then you get back downhill. And I don't know what Goga did when they cleared the lane for him to go dunk the basketball. I guess maybe they thought he was going to pull up. I don't know. But again, Damian Lillard, some clutch baskets down the stretch. And then the only other thing I want to mention, because we didn't talk about it, the officiating. I'm not understanding. This has been an epidemic against the Milwaukee Bucks. The only thing I can go to is what you told us, Justin, where you said Dame doesn't get shooting fouls. There was a shooting foul where, I mean, we're grabbing, I think it was on Suggs. We're grabbing down at him before he even comes up. He pulls up, shoots the ball, and it's an and one. Dame can't get any continuation call. I don't understand it. Orlando's in the freaking bonus before the damn fourth quarter, and we trying to end the game, and we getting touch fouls. They going to the line. I just came off from seeing Boston. They keep showing that play where Jaylen Brown. It's insane that the NBA is pumping up that play where Jaylen Brown was bodying Dame all the way up the court for 94 feet. I count 4 fouls at least. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, it's so again, I hate to do the woe is me stuff. If they had lost the game, it would have been because of the officiating. But we got to get some consistency on the officiating, because I'm not understanding why we don't get the calls. How Jalen Suggs has a better whistle than Damian Lillard. I don't understand that.
Hey, real quick, man. Look, dude. We took this Cleveland Cavaliers team to the brink of beating them with no GA on the floor. So I can't say that team is leaps and bounds better than us. I mean, Boston with the stuff, and I agree with you, man. That video is really annoying the crap out of me, man. He fouled the dude all the way up the court. Even Sam Decker commented on Twitter that in the EuroLeague he played in, he counted 7 fouls. What are we doing? The time when Jalen Suggs gets a better whistle than 2 top 75 and 75 players is an issue with this NBA. Giannis gets hacked every possession. Point blank, period.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the refs, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not that type of guy to just keep. I think there's deep issues with this basketball team, and it's nice to get a win, but just with how you come out in the NBA Cup and you're turning the ball over like that is just insane to me. I don't understand how you let that happen. Like, I think it was very sloppy tonight, and they ended up picking it up a little bit. And then also another thing, we can't have so many stretches where it's just Giannis scoring the basketball. Like, we can't have quarters on end with this team with nobody else contributing on the offensive side of the ball. It's just not sustainable. And so I think that's a little bit why, maybe Chuck said some of that stuff in that halftime, because I think that's where you had just said before that about how we can't compete with some of these top-tier East teams. Yeah, I think we have some issues. But then I also say, like, the turnovers, very fixable. And what I mean by this is we got to stop in the pick and roll, forcing passes inside when people are being double team, triple team. Like those cause a lot of the issues for the Bucks. And then all of a sudden, we know we're a little slow. We know we're a little old. We're not going to beat the Orlando Magic back in transition. So turnovers just can't happen, especially if you're an older team and you're playing at a slower pace. Sorry, that just messed up the mood. My bad. You good?
No.
Well, one thing that made tonight a bit rough though was that, like you guys have already said though, but tonight it did look like our lack of, and I don't even want to call it athleticism. I'm gonna call it explosiveness, right? Our lack of explosiveness on defense, and it was definitely on display tonight. And some of that, you always wonder too, if some of that is just fatigue or guys just starting to get a little bit tired, right? There's always that lull in the middle of the season. Let's say games 25 to 40 or whenever right before the All-Star break, guys just start to get tired, especially in January. Goofy things happen in late January where guys just the mental lapses, the physical lapses there too. So maybe that's some of it. But no, I agree with you guys. And all of us, anybody who's been watching knows, hey, listen, man, we those legs aren't young out there. We are not as explosive as a younger team. We just aren't.
So, and a couple things there. Worldwide Wob tweeted out that the final 2 minutes of this basketball game took 20 minutes of actual time. So again, you're talking about the fouls, about the reviews. That's another problem that the NBA has. It takes way too long to end these games. I mean, we looked at that. Like I said, the one where it was a foul on I didn't understand that one because they wanted to call a jump ball. No, they ended up saying that there was no foul when Bobby grabbed a rebound. And then I think Gold Guy and who was it beside Wendell Carter, they're grabbing at him and they didn't call it. They called, I believe they called a foul. Orlando challenges, then they get a ball back to the Bucks. All this stuff and it took so long to monitor. Some stuff takes some long. But to your point, JT, on the Bucks, this is at Mad Skills 789 says, for those wondering why the Bucks didn't destroy the Magic while they missed 4 key players, Bucks played on the 4th and on the 5th back-to-backs, and then again on the 7th and the 8th and today, 5 games in 7 days for the Milwaukee Bucks. He says, come on, they're not machines. So again, if you're into that kind of stuff, the rest, the second in the back-to-backs and how many games you played in so many days, the Bucks are 5 games in 7 days is where the Bucks are at, and that it is a lot in modern NBA. It is a lot.
It's a lot, and these aren't young men. That's the other thing. That's a lot. These aren't young men. The older you get, anybody who's played sports, it takes more for your body to recover. It is what it is. Now, y'all can talk about 20 years ago. They used to play 82 games. But this is not that era. Guys aren't being conditioned that way. I mean, it is what it is. And I do think that is a lot, especially for an old team like that. With not a ton of depth.
Yeah, it is a lot, but I don't think that Magic team is good at all. I'm sorry,
they are good, Chris.
No,
it's a good basketball team.
Without Wagner and Banchero, I don't think they're that good.
I got you.
Without those guys, I thought this should have been once we went up 78-70 off that Gary Trent Jr. 3. I thought this was going to be gone. I thought there was going to be no Suggs 18-point fourth quarter. I thought there was going to be no letting them back in the game. And it happened. It happened. I thought we finally figured it out. I thought it was just the game flow, or we were finally going to be able to pull away, and it just didn't happen that way. So that's part of the reason I'm disappointed as well. And think you should have, even if it's 5 games in 7 days, think it very well could have been a blowout tonight. I think that's why I'm a little frustrated.
Yeah, I continue to push back and disagree, man. I do think that's a good basketball team, man. I think Jamal Mosley.
Yeah, we got a lot of Jamal Mosley tonight on TNT. If you're watching the broadcast, you got to see him doing it for the cameras. That's what he was doing. He not really coaching like that. And anyway, what are you coaching out there? What was he doing? Their guards were just beating our guards offensively. I didn't see much coaching.
Sign up for you. So before you go, Justin, I'm sorry. You know what I hated tonight? That damn team. There's somebody got to tell these people. I don't need to look at Jamal Mosley while he talks. I want to watch the game. I'm watching half a screen of Jamal Mosley. I can hear him. I just put his voice over and let's go, man. Oh my God, it was so annoying. I just don't need it. I want to see basketball. I don't need. They do it. FanDuel TV does it all the time. They all you zooming in on Jalen Suggs' bald head, and I missed 3 seconds. And then you come back, paying back the action, shot going up. What the hell happened? Sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, so what the TNT needs to do as far as that's concerned is you need another broadcast on True TV or something like that for the people that want to watch all that extra stuff, though. I do think Jamal Mosley's a good coach, though. I think he's one of the most underrated coaches in the league. I think he puts his guys in a good position to win. And the one thing that he does is he has some of those dudes, I'm going to call them ducks or clucks out there that ain't good enough to be out there playing above their weight class. Like, I don't even know the dude's name. What's the boy name? 36? Goofball? Goof troop out there? Dunking on Giannis, rebounding the ball. He out there hooping. That dude he don't believe he should be in the NBA. His mama don't believe he should be in the NBA. But somehow, Jamal got this boy feeling like he out there should be playing with the greatest man walking this earth as far as basketball is concerned. And that's Mr. Antetokounmpo, man. Now, Jalen Suggs, I mean, he may need to go, like JT said, take that flight to Turkey. But that boy can hoop. He a hooper. But I don't know, man. Like, John Hammond is probably one of the best general managers in all of basketball. I thought you saw what he believes in. Long arms, athletic dudes that can play defense, and we figure out the rest on the athletic end. I don't know if Paolo and the Wagner dude coming back changes a whole lot. The reason why I say that, because a lot of those shots from Suggs and some of those other guys that were wide open looks may be iso ball for Paolo. And that's going to take away from them wide open looks because they don't move the ball as well when he's on the floor.
Now, that's not a bad point, and you got to think about it when Paolo's on the court, who's probably going to be his primary defender. You could put Giannis on him, and so I do agree with you in some instances there, but I can't get down with it. That ain't, that doesn't change things at all.
Defensively too with those guys, I would imagine.
They absolutely. Let me get to the chat. Alucard says we really supposed to lost this shit. Dollar saved us. Robert Henry says yes, Vegas bound. Dame time came through with the refuse to lose attitude. Then props to Bobby. Terrence Hughes says B Lopez didn't have the best game tonight. He didn't. Danielle Bear Sports House says, hey, Forte says, still blows my mind that Dame can turn that shit on when he needs to. Hell of a clutch performance from Dalla, and also that MF for AJ Green, that MF and AJ Green block was some real shit. Y'all cussing up a storm in the damn chat. I'm just reading it. Y'all out here cussing your ass off. I don't know what's going on. Shit. You want to cut. Anthony Lacey says against that Bucks defense, hell yeah. Everything works. Suggs probably hasn't scored 30 plus since high school. And then Amon B says Bobby needs to play more than Brook. And then I saw DJ Droop is in here, of course, says tired of being right and yawning at the Bobby stuff. And let's talk for 1 second. Let's talk to Bobby, because I think let's do it now. Let's do the Bobby giveaway. So we said we're gonna do the giveaway and remind people what they're looking for, Justin, what they're gonna win. Do you have it on you? I know you and
I'm on the road, man.
You're on the road. Okay, you're on the road, but y'all remember it's 8x10, man. It was 8x10 of Bobby. We had told you to chime in with the Bobby stuff. We're doing a giveaway. Chris King, please take it away. Who is the winner of our contest?
Yeah,
and the winner is.
Are you guys ready for it?
Ready. We are ready.
Out of all the names compiled and all the people who chanted Bobby so many times within our YouTube chat and on Twitter and all that, JFrame419, if you would please come to the front. Congratulations, you just won 8x10 Bobby Portis poster with the WWE belt, the People's Champ, Bobby Portis.
JFrame419. Set your award with the left hand, shake hands with the right.
J-Frame, yeah, like you're the graduation. J-Frame 419. So we'll get in contact. We'll get your information. Appreciate you for watching. So appreciate everybody who participated and tried to win that thing. But it was J-Frame 419 who comes up clutch like Damian Lillard in the fourth quarter and ends up with the grand prize. You can come up clutch in the fourth quarter. Go ahead, just what's that?
More importantly, we appreciate Bobby hooping his ass off the last
We do.
In the post game.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, and you know what else we appreciate?
What you appreciate, big dog?
The good folks at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill.
I knew it was coming.
Get on down there to Pewaukee Lakeview Boulevard, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Get out there, enjoy yourself, and listen. If you were out there tonight, you would have enjoyed because tonight, as we know, it was a televised game, so you would have enjoyed $3 bottles and pints out there. Michelob Ultra. Curly's is your Bucks headquarters, you know that. And if you go out there, what's tomorrow night, JT?
Wednesday.
So what they doing?
Bingo.
And
they're doing trivia on Thursday. Yes, sir.
So Bobby Portis putting back-to-back. Bobby Portis going crazy one game, going crazy next. You go Wednesday, boom, you hitting the bingo. You go Thursday, boom, you hitting the trivia. And our trivia question of the day, there is one team in the entire NBA, there is one team in the association that has never, ever, ever been to an NBA Finals. Name me that team. Everybody gets one guess. Name me that team that has never, ever been to the NBA Finals. There's only one.
Charlotte Hornets.
Incorrect. Well,
NBA Finals?
Hold on. Let me check my stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I'm about
Why
to say.
is it? Something's wrong about that because I don't think the Hornets ain't never been.
Y'all would have had a parade in the 704.
All right, hold on. Let me change the question because
modern day the Washington Wizards. I know they ain't been.
I think that's
modern
correct.
Day Washington Wizards.
All right, we're gonna change the question. My bad. Give me the year the 3-point line was introduced into the NBA.
3-point line was introduced. I'm gonna go
1980.
Let's go 84.
I'm gonna
84,
go
83.
I'm gonna go 82, 83.
79, 80.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So I damn near got it right.
So 1980, 79, 80. NBA 3-point line introduced
I'll take
into
a half a year win. Work.
The NBA. So there we go. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. I gotta get a more accurate. I didn't like that. I gotta get a more accurate trivia on my hands there. But anyway, the Bucks they get a win tonight, 114-109 over the Orlando Magic.
We gotta win, right, fellas?
We absolutely gotta win.
You said Curly's had $3 beers tonight, so I know Curly's. What JT said, send the boy to Costco last time.
Hey.
But if we won, that means the semifinal game is on national TV again. So you better stock up.
That's exactly what it means. And so you have to stock up. And so again, we talked about back-to-back good performances and stacking performances on each other. And Bobby Portis did that tonight and did it in the other night against, was that Brooklyn? Give me your thoughts on what has changed about Bobby Portis over the last couple nights that has been a little different. And then, and we're talking about Bobby, but it's funny because at the same time, it feels like Brook Lopez has started to fall off a bit. But yeah, give me your thoughts on what you're seeing from Bobby Portis. What is the difference in him than we've seen from some parts of the early season where you have people saying trade him. I used to have some of that sentiment, but he's definitely playing much better over the last couple games. What is it?
Simply what I said on, what was it, Sunday? He's letting the game come to him, guys. And he's recognized – what I think Bobby is so good at is – and sometimes he doesn't do it a lot – is recognizing mismatches, recognizing when it's okay to ISO and shoot over a smaller defender. Not with the hand in your face, no, but like if Anthony Black is on you, if Jalen Suggs is on you, that's okay. I'll live with that. If they're not going to close out right away, but I think he let the game come to him, let his just overall game, translate into having a good all around performance, like rebounding the basketball and doing all the dirty work instead of being lazy. I think that all plays a factor in Bobby just playing well. And then there's also a little bit of, hey, you only missed one shot last game. There's some confidence going up in him. So I'd say he's letting the game come to him a little more. And when your team is shooting terrible outside of Giannis and Dame, somebody's got to do it, right? So I think it's a little bit of that too.
I mean, he definitely looks a lot more – it looks locked in, looks focused. And you talked about that shot selection you're not seeing the goofy string of plays with Bobby that we were seeing earlier this year, right? Because it was never just one play. What is Bobby? It's 3 and 4 possessions. Like, what's going on? Oh man, get him out of here, right? Bobby falling into his own quicksand, right? You're not seeing that in the last couple of games. And I think looking at Bobby, looking more focused, looking more locked in, taking better shot selections, like Chris said, exploiting the mismatch or taking good. That has made a bit of a difference. But yeah, I mean, he's playing very, very well right now. And as he believes in himself, gets more and more confident, stays focused here, I would expect to see more of the same from Bobby in the near future.
I feel like Bobby a hooper, and he hooping. I feel like he's 6-man candidate of the year. He's starting to realize it himself. But I think I give a lot of credence to what Brother Chris King said, man, as far as letting that game come to him. When he's not trying to do too much. And notice Bobby's game has started to take off when what I've been talking about all year, what y'all been talking about, some of y'all in the comments, shout out to DJ Drew. Hey, Middleton came back and he understands his role now. And he's playing a lot better. So I think I'll attribute it to Bobby playing better, but also to Chris Middleton coming back and kind of stabilizing some of these guys, man. And Middleton isn't just bringing it on the offensive end. He's picked up the pace, the play on the defensive end, and you see a lot more hustle and stuff like that. And I think it's encouraging Bobby to block shots, AJ Green to block shots. But more importantly, Bobby rebounding the hell out of this basketball, man. And that's what I love to see.
Yeah, Bobby's just doing a lot of things well. And again, it doesn't hurt when, I say it all the time, when the ball's going in the basket. And when the ball's going in the basket, that can sometimes make all the difference. I don't know, if he's been working with Lethal Shooter, but the shots are going in. And again, of another game where he closes, speaking of people who've been falling off a little bit, the leading 3-point shooter in the NBA, Taurean Prince, 3 games in a row, 0 points. So he has got to pick it up a little bit too. So again. And that's what we get to win a championship. This team is so top heavy. You got to have the Giannis performances. Giannis is going to do what he does. Giannis is always good enough to win a championship. He's a championship level player. Damian Lillard, I trust what I've seen from the playoffs from Damian Lillard, and I trust that in late game situations, generally he's going to make the right play, and he's your clutch guy late. He's shown it multiple times. He showed it last year, showed it in the playoff. He's shown it this year that late in games, you can depend on Damian Lillard to make the right plays, to make the clutch shots. You need a basket. Damian Lillard is going to and will and can deliver. And he's playmaking. And again, what we talked about from a Chris Middleton standpoint, he's playmaking. We found he is your backup point guard. Like that is again, DeLon Wright, no minutes again. You found your backup point guard. You're running this offense through those 3 guys, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Dame. And then Bobby is able to close, and especially when he's playing much better than Brook Lopez. When teams are athletic, it just hurts Brook, and he doesn't look comfortable on the floor. And Brook looked out of position so much tonight. So it was just good that Bobby, for the most part, was generally in the right spot, and he hit shots. And so again, you have no issues for me when you're hitting shots. Again, you're not gonna shoot 9 of 10, 9 of 11 every night. So again, we know these days aren't gonna come. Can you impact the game when you're not doing that? That's what remains to be seen for Bobby Portis, but we want to make sure and hope that he continues doing it. And I was surprised at the crowd tonight. All the Bobby stuff. Y'all do this so much. And when he's finally actually playing well, nothing. Yeah. This crowd.
I heard it at the end.
Y'all just wanted to fight. Okay, I missed something.
It was when Suggs missed that 3-pointer for the lead, and he got the rebound and was headed to the free throw line. That's when they did it.
Okay, yeah,
but that's too late to me. He was hooping. Boy had 16 in the first half.
Yeah.
You gotta bring that out. So I don't know, but it was a good performance by Bobby. Look, I think as this season progresses, even if he's not making those the amount of outside shots he made tonight and on Sunday, I think there is a role for him on the offensive glass. If he's able to keep getting tip-ins, if he's able to pick shots off the rim and dunk, like whatever. I haven't seen that in a while, but if he's able to stay on the offensive glass like we've been lacking, then I think there's going to be better games and better performances from Bobby as far as shooting wise, not just relying on the outside shot, because it can be so up and so down like we've seen this year.
That offensive glass is so key tonight, man, especially when you see it, man. Like Shut up. Hey, real quick. When y'all see me in the background and I'm making all these reactions and stuff, I'm not waving my hand at the Guru or Chris King or JT, man. I'm watching these damn Badgers try to claw their way back to 500 in the Big Ten, man. But anyways, hey, man.
Glad you're not in the DMs.
Hey. Speaking of the DMs, these boys got to put their ass on somebody and box out, man. It's too many dudes running and too many little dudes getting rebounds, and you letting Goof Troop Boy. How many rebounds that Goof Troop Boy had tonight?
14.
He had 14 offensive ones? Sorry.
No, offensive. I had to check for you.
14, 14 is way above his basketball card.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah,
that's also you know what's crazy that's also on his basketball card? He's 25 years old. He's only like 3 years older than me, but he looks like a caveman. It's crazy. So look, Jamal Mosley, he doesn't have to teach that guy any energy because he's young. He don't look like it, but he's young. He is young.
Hey, yeah. Where'd he play college ball at? Anybody know?
I don't know.
I
don't think he was in the U.S.
No, I don't think he did.
Dude was hooping tonight, though, man. I gotta give him credit, man. He was balling. Posterized the greatest man on earth. So when he could tell his kids, he posterized the best basketball player walking God's green earth at the time when he did it.
And that's why I love watching Giannis play, because Giannis gets posterized, and what'd he do? Came back same game and gave him the business right back. So, those are some of the things that Giannis is able to do. Let's go to the Twitter and see what they're saying there. Drew Barringer says, nice, tough win, but Orlando's going to be a problem once fully healthy. Very impressed by them. At NYC Randy says, I feel like we should have blown this team out today, but give Dame some love because he always shows us why we went and got him. Giannis continues to be the best in the world. I have a theory that Bobby and Brook just can't play well in the same game. It's always one or the other. At DTP Virgo says, more small ball lineup without Lopez. He is becoming more unplayable against fluid moving bigs. Gets lost a lot. Rmill53 says another Giannis CTE game, but play better in the second half. Bench players besides Bobby were useless. Ajax needs to play with Dame, Bobby, Brook, Trent lineup and close games for defense because Gary is food. Big 4F5 says take the W. Scott Foster's pure trash. Need to clean it up for the semis, but more time with the big three together, the better. We'll do a couple more here. At Dame Got Me says, I changed my mind on this trade. Brook should be a bigger priority over Bobby. Oh, he's matchup dependent. 80% of the games aren't for him, and he keeps looking more unplayable game after game. And then at the Disruptor, we'll do two more. At the Disruptor says a win is a win because a loss tonight would have sent the team down to a downward spiral. But more trouble than happy with the performance tonight. Brook was totally unplayable against a big who wasn't able to stretch the floor. Rebounding on both ends is a huge problem. Ajax is misused. And then at GA_hoop says, I've been hard on Dame, just like you guys on the show, but we have to give him his respect now. Dame time. I want to go back to that Ajax comment. And we're trying to figure out, he plays 8 minutes tonight. And the comment there said, hey, we're not using him. Ajax is not being used correctly. Do you agree with that assessment? And if so, what way should Ajax be used? What is the problem? Because there's clearly something wrong when you have a starter who played 8 minutes. And I believe in that second half, Doc Rivers took a timeout 2 minutes into the half and pulled AJ out and put in Gary Trent Jr. So and Ajax never got back in the game. So what is where are we going with Ajax? We know what he brings. He's a defender. He's going after all loose balls. And again, the first half, he had 5 points to start the game. I mean, he had a three. He had a nice acrobatic layup. Yeah, how do you use it? How do you keep him on the floor? What do you do? What's the answer here?
He gotta be more assertive, man. He gotta take over and pick his spots a little bit better. And what I mean by picking spots better is I'm not saying that to shoot the ball more, but aggressively go to the bucket. If they're gonna give you that three, pump fake it and go and dunk on somebody. We know it's capable. He's a freak of athleticism. Maybe we call him Baby Giannis. He does all that crazy athletic stuff, dunking. I mean, some of them dunks he's had off the rebound putbacks are crazy. Just crazy. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about he's anywhere capable of what Giannis' game is, man. But he just got to keep hooping, man. I think it's a lot more in that tank. But I would have liked to see him come back in that fourth quarter when Suggs was going crazy, man. I mean, when Gary Trent can't check him, and I'm not saying Gary Trent's a bad player either. I think Buddy in the Twitter or the chat that said that Gary Trent Jr. is a walking cone. That's a little bit bogus to me, man. Gary Trent Jr. been hooping these last few games, man, on both ends of the court. So, hey, Ajax just got to find his way, pick his spots better, and come in and impact the game the way that he can.
Here's where I go with Ajax, and I hope people don't give me flack for this. He just looks a little fundamentally challenged to me, like on the offensive end. Like he can be a great defender. He can be a high flyer. He can be in the dunker spot and dunk as much as he can if he's open. But I don't see really much outside. Even his shot kind of looks a little ugly. Like it's just not like visually pleasing on offense. And I don't know if that's something they knew about before, he was drafted and played somewhere. But like he just doesn't look as capable as some of your other 3-and-D guys on the offensive end when creating his own offense. And that's why I think you run into some issues where it's like, okay, are we going to put him out there just to play defense and then really not give you much offensively because we don't trust him at this point? Or are we just going to sit him and throw Gary Trent Jr. in there who might be able to go for 20 with conceding 10 or conceding 15, but at least he'll go get you a bucket if nothing else is going, right? So I think that's the issue that they're dealing with a little bit. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's just how I look at it. Like I just don't know if his offensive game is that great.
Well, I would agree with that. And that's so part of me wonders how long are we going to try to make this thing work with Ajax in the starting lineup, period? Because the practical reality of it is that I think everybody's pretty comfortable with Andre Jackson Jr. playing maybe 20 minutes a night. And we said this about Doc the whole time. Yes, play Ajax. But again, I agree with you. I think offensively we are just limited here. And I think that is a very low ceiling at best for Andre Jackson Jr. from an offensive perspective. Having said that, his grittiness, his basketball IQ at times, his toughness, his ability, like you said, get boards, dive on loose basketballs on the ground, his ability to make a play here and there, set other people up for a play, all of that stuff, it gets to be infectious. We've seen that too. So I think he deserves a presence on the court, probably about 20 minutes max here. But I really got to ask, how long are we going to keep that man in the starting lineup? Because you're right, Chris. You're severely – I mean, it's a bit deficient at this point. And plus, you still have some other looks, right? What do you do with Chris? Do you eventually bring Chris to run up the starters? Do you eventually does Gary Trent get back in that conversation? You're just really curious to see where this thing goes with Andre Jackson Jr. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think he finishes the season in the starting lineup.
Well, no, yeah, because clearly you're gonna have Chris come back in, and that's probably the route that he goes, taking Ajax there.
Can I add one more thing too, just real quick? Like, I think with Ajax too, it might just not be the right style for what he provides you offensively anyway. Like, this is a team that runs a lot of half court offense. Like if Ajax is on the Pacers, my goodness, he might be playing 40 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that's a little bit of what we're dealing with Ajax. Just kind of limited half court offense.
But it's almost more than limited because he is genuinely one of the few people in the NBA that goes unguarded. Like, you generally cannot do that unless you're generally you just can't not guard a guy. Now there are some bigs that you may leave on the perimeter and say, I'm not going to. Because I think, Justin, you said, well, you got to pump it and go dunk. On who? Who's coming out there? Who's challenging his shot? Who are you pumping? Nobody's challenging his shot. Like, they are willingly, defenses will if the possession, they say Giannis shooting threes is a turnover. Defenses will live with if the possession ends with an Andre Jackson Jr. 3-pointer, I'll take that every possession. So it's becoming a problem. And so what does that mean? He has to turn into more of a playmaker, but he's also a little bit too careless. You don't really trust him to be your playmaker, right? When you got Giannis, Chris, or Dame on the court, it's far and few between that I want Andre Jackson Jr. handling the basketball at all. So it is a tough spot that you get into because you're right, Chris. Once you get into the half court, you're having to play 4 and 5. Like, at one point, they were putting what's my man, Go Guy. You talk about all the rebounds that he got. Well, yeah, he's playing basically foot in the lane and you just kind of keep an eye on whatever the hell Andre Jackson Jr. is doing, and anything that happens, you there to grab any rebound. So it was real. It is tough, and you had to figure out what you want to do. And so Doc Rivers, I think he's in a really tough spot, where Ajax maybe he ends up being a spot guy where when you need a spark, you bring in Ajax. When you need to defend somebody, you bring in Ajax. But again, even to that point, how do you get him comfortable unless you're playing him consistent minutes a night? Like I do think in the regular season, I think you have to play him consistent minutes. I don't think he's a starter, obviously, but I do think you got to give him 10, 12. You got to find minutes. You got to find minutes for him to play, because who knows when in that series against Boston, when you need somebody to try to shut down a Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, maybe I need 8 minutes of Andre Jackson Jr. or against the Knicks, and it's somebody or any team, the Cavs, and I need you to go get on Donovan Mitchell right now. You need him to be ready to play for those moments. And yeah, so I do feel like that's probably one where Doc is put in a really tough position, trying to figure out how you balance all that while at the same time you're trying to win. And again, another night, JT, we talk about it. I think Giannis played 35, 36 minutes, and Damian Lillard was at 38. So you are racking up the minutes on these guys to try to get wins against a team missing 2 high-quality starters, 2 probably all-stars in the Eastern Conference.
So one thing to be clear about Ajax, though, right? He averaged his career college average is 6.7 points a game, or 6.8 or something like that. His highest score. He's an off the ball, do everything glue guy. Does it have a place in the NBA? I don't know, but I think he probably tied with his college averages tonight. Did he have 6 tonight? That's what he averages in college. But
he had 5 points in only 8 minutes. 5 points, 8 minutes tonight.
It's not bad. He just has to find a way to get the ball in the basket when he's the least, like you guys have mentioned, the least thought of option, man. But I'm not looking for him to be a crazy scorer. I'm looking for him to do everything on the floor that no one else will do. And that's what that's what he shines as.
Well, it's also difficult, too, when you go in as the player and know that these teams do not respect you. Like, I'm sure that has to mess with his head a little bit. And how do you get it going after, only playing 8 minutes and feeling like you were just about to get into your rhythm and stuff like that? But the trust isn't there. And I don't know if Doc is necessarily wrong for not trusting him at this point in his career and at this point in a win-now season on a win-now championship team.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hard to trust him. And again, I'm right there with you. I see why you don't. It's interesting. Also in that game, Doc Rivers took out. It was a few seconds left, but he played the offense, defense, taking out Damian Lillard and putting in Andre Jackson Jr. for the last 10 seconds there to try to come up with the stop. Bucks winning tonight. Go ahead.
Can I ask y'all a question since we about the 8? Like,
of course.
Can I ask y'all, like, why is Brook so bad now? And I hear that in the chat, in the Twitter, they're talking about, it's because Bobby played great. I don't think they correlate. But why do we think Brook is, like, struggling so much? Because at one point this year, I may have been – I know the dude ain't going to come in the chat no more, but I would have said if he kept playing like that, he was an all-star.
I think Brook Lopez is struggling. I think it's kind of the same thing as Bobby Portis, where – Brook Lopez, it's sometimes the same as Gary Trent Jr. You look a lot better when the ball goes in the basket. And when the ball's not going in the basket, it doesn't look as good. I think because that's the thing, defensively, I think the things that do correlate are straight line drives. And I did see a few of those tonight where Gary couldn't stay in front of his guy. Dame couldn't stay in front, and you're allowing straight line drives to the basket. Brook Lopez is stepping up. Nobody's stepping up behind Brook Lopez to try to help. So I do see some of that. But again, he's just much slower, and so his recovery speed is not there. Tonight should have been a night where you would have thought Brook Lopez could have been, again, against a team that doesn't really – I mean, Mo Wagner's a little more athletic and mobile, and you saw there was a moment there in the third, I believe, where Wagner was, killing for about 3, 4, 5 possessions in a row. And it was like, damn, he's all over the just doing everything right now. But yeah, these are, you would think he should at least be able to protect the rim against a team that doesn't have a 3-point shooter out there. just didn't happen. And so, yeah, I don't know. And again, for Brook Lopez, to me, really to improve his value, his value add is he hitting shots? Is he hitting threes? Is he doing those type of things? And I also think I don't know. I just don't know if we're using him right either, but we haven't used him right since he started just jacking up threes on the outside. Like, I don't understand why he's not doing some of the back to the basket stuff. And because I still think he's effective doing a little bit of that. I mean, I don't care how many times he hits it. I hate when he goes back to the basket and then somehow he ends up as a 7-footer fade away little jump shot. He hits it every now and then too, but it's yeah, I don't know. So to answer your question, I really don't understand it about Brook Lopez either. And then, but I ask it, I want you guys to answer that too, but I'll take it a step further. You're watching this basketball team. Of course, December 15th is a date that everybody's going to look at because that's the date when a lot of these contracts you can where there's a lot more tradable players that have been for the team for the respective period of time where you can make these trades. I mean, the Bucks are. I mean, if you look, every single person that comes out is in the market. The Bucks are like on that in the odds to like, well, are they in on this person? I saw the Nets where they were in on those type of things. Yeah, do you still think this team needs something else? And and that's the thing. To do that, the only way you're gonna get anything else of substance, it's got to be either Brook or Bobby who's getting traded. That's the only way you can get something. Like I think people have got to understand that you're not getting nothing with Marjan and Pat. It's got to be Bobby or Brook. Some combination of that. That's the only thing that's gonna get you anything. Do you still think this team needs something to win a championship?
100%. And I agree. And that was part of why we were so like trade Bobby. It wasn't that we didn't like Bobby. It wasn't that we wanted to get him out as much as it was like, listen, we need to get younger. We need to get more athletic. This is our only piece here. Pat's value. I would be shocked if Pat's value was more than the second round pick at this point. Like at best, right? Maybe like I would just absolutely be shocked if Pat really had any trade value worth anything. And but again, it's not just Pat, right? Bobby, Brook. Honestly, at some point, maybe Brook's on the table. Maybe Brook should be on the table. I mean, if we can upgrade, if we can get better, I don't think you rule that out either.
Yeah, well, let me tell you guys, I'm very worried about the interior defense from what I saw tonight and from what I saw Claxton do on Sunday. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. Getting a young, energetic, athletic big, and you had a chance to address that in the offseason, whether it was through the draft or through a trade, and you didn't do it. So, I mean, I do think that's, in my opinion, either perimeter defense or interior defense is our biggest issue on this basketball team. And if there's any way that you can kind of get somebody that is energetic, that can go up and block shots, not named Giannis, I think that would be good because a lot of times today, and I agree with you, Trey, on the straight line drives, Brook is just a little slow and they're able to float it over him, right? He's a little slow there. And then, when you start to get guys who are stretch bigs, he's going to be even slower when he's pulled out to the three-point line, Brook is. So, yes, I mean, I do think that there are moves to be made, and I think there's moves that will inevitably happen. And this is why, like JT said, this is why we monitor those two guys because those are the only ones with trade value.
I think the next game is the biggest game for this Bucks front court defense, right? Regardless if we play Atlanta or New York. I think both of those bigs for both teams have proven to be a problem for us. We don't have to talk about how Karl Anthony Towns just ran down the lane and slam dunked it all over us and stuff like that. And Capella went crazy too. And you'd have to argue me up and down to say that guy's a good basketball player, man. He's an athletic dude that can do something. He's not a good basketball player, though. But then it leads me back to, is Brook a good basketball player right now? I don't know, man. Like, I saw earlier in the year, Brook looked like he served a purpose on his team, and if we traded him, it'd be a big cog in our defense, and people could run down the lane. Then I watched the Orlando Magic, minus their two best players, and guys are running down the lane still with him in there. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some credence with the gentleman that talked about that we played, what did he say, 4 out of 5, whatever the numbers were and stuff like that. I mean, but then I'm gonna push back on JT too, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it with Conference All-Star Zone, though. So, like, what are we talking about here? I don't know, man. I think that if you're not making a move to get better, you're doing yourself a disservice. At the same time, Bobby playing the way he is, Brook playing the way he is, we got to find a way to sync this all up and make it where John Horst has a tough decision. Right now, it's like either or, flip a coin. If both these guys can play good at the same time, maybe so. But I mean, again, it's not about this regular season, but I'd be a fool and I would disrespect my city if I said we don't need to do something to have another parade down Wisconsin Avenue.
Because you've been complacent for the past trade deadline and nothing has changed, right? Like nothing is. Yes, you did bring in Dame. Yes, that was the offseason. But when you saw what you were working with last year, right? And these guys are only getting older. You were complacent at the deadline to me. So that just can't happen again.
Let me ask you guys this one follow-up. What is more important for this team, to get a wing player, or do you think you need something? Because somebody in the comments just said, well, the front court is cooked, or our front court's barbecue chicken. What is it? But I've also heard other people say, well, this team, no, they need more wings to play against Boston. What do you need more? What? And that's the thing. And does the fact that I'm asking this question show how many holes this team actually has? Because I think it's a legitimate question of, would you rather, if you had one trade you could make, would you rather have a guy who you could place in the front court and pair, into games, down low with Giannis at the big or whatever? Or would you say, no, we need another wing that, if Taurean Prince ain't balling, or if Gary Trent ain't got it, or AJ Green ain't got it, and man, what if Andre Jackson Jr. isn't offense? He's playing 4 and 5. I need another wing I can stick in there, and we can go with that. What does this basketball team need more?
Well, I was pleasantly surprised tonight with Chris Middleton's defense. I think he did okay, and forcing a couple turnovers, getting a couple steals. So, to me, if I had to make one move, it would be the front court, because imagine a front court with a young or just capable defender alongside Giannis. And they don't even have to shoot the three anymore, because we know if we get all these performances in a row from either Brook or Bobby, somebody's not making their threes anyway. And we've seen it throughout this season. So to me, I mean, I would love to get a 4 or 5 you could pair with Giannis and make this thing literally the best front court defensively in the NBA, and you figure out where your chips fall after that on the perimeter. You got so many options. I credit John Horst so much for what he did in getting Gary Trent Jr. and Taurean Prince over here. They got to start putting together some consistent runs in the regular season where they're actually playing defense and hitting shots. And I think you'll be able to you have a surplus at this point of those guys on the wings. And yeah, I mean, I definitely go with the front court.
Would agree with that.
Sorry. Go ahead.
After you, sir.
I'm gonna go back at point guard, man. Like, we need someone to handle this ball and get it out of their hands. Like Chris King just mentioned, Taurean Prince and Gary Trent Jr. got to play to what their basketball card is, basically. So if them dudes are hooping and Bobby and Brook figure it out, then we need someone to handle that ball, man. We can't just be relying on Chris Middleton and Dame Lillard or Giannis or whoever to be your backup point guard, man. We need a good, solid ball handler that will not turn the ball over, like the old goofball down there in Indiana, the backup one, not the starting goofball.
Well, I'll also say, my bad, I just thought of something.
Talking about TJ?
Yeah. Yo, boy.
Oh, TJ McConnell? No, so I just thought of something as well that I saw tonight, and I think this is relevant, is on the offensive end, yes, Brook shoots threes, right? But we're also having him in these pick-and-roll situations, and you're trying to force him the ball in the pick-and-roll, and not like literally 9 times out of 10, it's going to either be stolen because Brook is – I think he's a little flustered with the ball, or he's just going to do that slow, kind of drive, and nothing really results in it. He's a little soft. I feel like if you really got a high flyer in there that you could use in the front court, I feel like that would be good, just as good offensively as a guy who can just stand around the three-point line and miss threes all day. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, and a lot of things that we have to that we're gonna have to figure out to see what we want to do and what you need. Iron Man Clan TV says Time Lord again. A lot of people have been talking about him. Quick Draw McGraw says we're PJ Tucker staying in the quarter, teams left him open, and we won a title that way.
He was knocking those down.
Well, he knocks them down, and
defense.
Yeah, and I think the other thing about PJ. I don't know if they necessarily left him open all the time. I don't. I'd have to go back. I'm trying to remember exactly offensively some of PJ's role, but PJ also. I mean, I don't know that I trust Andre Jackson Jr. to go D up Kevin Durant. Oh, like a guy like PJ Tucker was doing some incredible things. And the other thing about PJ Tucker is you talk about a veteran, a guy who could go out and really get in your ear of some of the guys too. And really like there's this thing about energy being infectious, but there's also a thing about being able to yell at guys, be able to talk to guys, and having them listen to you. And I don't think Ajax has that either. Again, he's still learning himself. Let's keep rolling here, keep this thing going. All good discussions. John C. Perez says, good luck from a Magic fan. We let that one get away. John, again, Gene C. I don't know how you said same, man. Good. That GG's all in the chat. That was a good game. Very good game. Let's see. I like respectful fans. Don't come in here talking crazy. These Boston fans. Don't come in talking crazy, man. Hey, respect given, respect earned. That's all.
Them old ugly broads in Boston getting Torian Prince sick.
And man, I'm not convinced that the Boston boys ain't like some high schoolers either. I'm not convinced that the Boston dudes running up in our chat or we might be arguing with 16-year-olds. That's very possible.
Hey, I'm an equal opportunity hater. 16, 15, 14. If you old enough to get on this internet and talk crazy, hey, I'd shoot bull with the best of them. Let's keep rolling here and try. I know we got to run and keep this one going. Game balls. Let's do game balls tonight after 114-109 Bucks over the Magic. Let's see where you guys want to go with this. I'll let you guys go first. Game ball. Who you giving it to?
Well,
I go. You know where I'm going.
Where are you going?
Bobby.
Okay.
Bobby.
Yeah, you can do that.
I second that. I'm gonna give Bobby a second game ball. I think it's well deserved, warranted.
Hey, real quick on the game ball too. Hey Trey, I hope you don't mind if I do this, but shout out to Aaron Sarmion and Billy Schmidt, cause them boys. Somebody tried to get at Trey on that joint today, and we just want to let you know from the Cream City crossover, Bobby got 2 game balls from Chris King and Trey Crosby last game. He got 2 from me and JT tonight. So we see you, Bobby. Keep going. Sorry, Chris King.
Yeah, I just saw Iron Man Clan TV say Dame in the chat, and that's exactly where I'm going. Look, this was a game where you almost let it get away after we thought we might be able to pull away from them. And once again, Damian Lillard does what Damian Lillard does in the clutch. So awesome, so reliable to see him do that, hit that step-back 3, and then knock down 2 big free throws at the end. And get that layup to put us ahead was big, or dunk, whatever he did. He might have traveled on that, by the way, but it was a very vintage Dame Lillard down the stretch performance that ultimately helped us prevail in this one. Shout out to Giannis with a great one too.
I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do, and I'm gonna split the game ball tonight. I'm gonna split the game ball between Giannis, 37-7. 2 steals, 4 blocks. You know what they call those, JT? Stocks. 6 stocks from Giannis tonight. Even when he was struggling, he was playing well and doing a really good job tonight. And then he hit the 2 free throws to clutch. But the other guy I'm gonna split to, I thought a guy who came in still on a minutes restriction, but he did so much initiating of the basketball tonight. Did a lot of. I mean, you talk about. Where we're trying to get Giannis and Dame from a 2-man game, Chris and Giannis, I mean, it's like if Chris passes Giannis the ball, they are connected. I mean, it's somebody mentioned it to me on Twitter, because I was asking about the connection. Somebody said it's like Steph and Draymond, where those two are just, they're always communicating even when they're not. It's the eye roll, it's the head nod. They're on it. And that's why Dame and Giannis got to get on that type of path, because Chris and Giannis, when people say, well, Giannis doesn't roll or he doesn't do this, somehow Chris is always able to get Giannis the ball in every situation, all situations. So Chris Middleton, 8 assists tonight, and then y'all talked about his defense a little bit. 3 steals. Got his hand in the cookie jar a couple times and poked away some basketballs and got some extra possessions for the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm gonna give it to Chris Middleton. Gene Seabird says that 3 was a trap. I don't think the 3 was a. I have to look again. I believe it was a good gather. But I was checking.
I was saying the travel was on that. You know how he got like a straight line drive to the basket and dunk.
Yeah,
he might have traveled there.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have to look at
that.
Go check that one. But I mean, regardless, it counts for the same, dog. He ain't call it, so we're good. I love it.
Yeah, I think I do think the other one was clean, but yeah, I look at that one too. And definitely we'll see the last 2-minute report. Let's go to a look around. Not much to look around at tonight. Thunder up 79-63 over the Dallas Mavericks right now. Luka Doncic only 2 points so far, 2 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 minutes to go, 9 points for Kyrie Irving. So they're in some trouble right now. 4 minutes to go in the third, but they are down 16. They have got to get it back under control. And then the only other thing I want to talk about, I know we got to get Chris to work real quick. But the only other,
Look around. You got Illinois up 85-80, 17.9 seconds left to go in the game on the beloved University of Wisconsin Badgers. And for y'all other Badger fans in the chat, man, I saw the dude ask for we Packer fans. I can't speak for these other 3 dudes, but I am. We ain't gonna worry about them 3 though. Hey, look, real quick though, Jeff Grimes, new offensive coordinator for the Wisconsin Badgers football. Shout out to Trey Crosby. Best football player I know in Howard University, by the way.
There we go. You see the HU. Only other thing I was gonna get at was you saw they caught the shooter. I want to get you guys just quick thoughts.
Man, that is a wild story. That's a T's and Q's conversation.
I just want to get quick thoughts. On the United Healthcare CEO getting shot in New York, and they did find him. He was in McDonald's enjoying a hash brown.
Hey, it's always the McDonald's breakfast that'll get you caught. I'm telling you, that breakfast is too damn good.
Here's what I don't understand. Uber Eats something like I don't understand. You know what's wild to me about the shooter incident though is that it's one of those things where we know it is terrible when somebody gets shot because that should not happen. But it seems like there's a segment of people on the internet that were kind of rooting for him to get away. And it's weird because it's like we know it's so bad, but everybody hates insurance companies. So he got like this weird level of sympathy from just, casual internet scrollers, browsers, bots, everything. Mm-hmm. But it's like, the United Healthcare CEO, he shouldn't be shot. Y'all know that's wrong. Y'all know that's crazy. But so it's just this weird phenomenon here because people are like, well, yeah, we hate healthcare. So because of something you hate, you're looking at you're making a weird moral judgment on this. And, okay, well it's okay because it's something we hate versus, hey, that ain't right. Lock that man up. Especially lock that man up. You got caught in the McDonald's. My guy, you got through Central Park. You know how hard it is to get through. He got through Central Park. He was in the Greyhound or whatever, the bus station. They didn't know which way this man went. He was in the wind. They said he could be in Atlanta, he could be in D.C. or Philly, or he could be in Mexico. D.C. or whatever, Mexico, right? And you got caught in McDonald's, my guy. Oh, come on, bro. Something ain't right there. Also, I did hear though. This is also wild. This is a different conversation. I saw a report saying that he used a 3D printed gun.
Yes, he did.
The gun was from a 3D printer, which is
and the silencer. Yeah,
which is wild that he got a 3D printer. I mean, I knew you could 3D print guns, but it's just crazy that you had something like this used in a shooting and the silencer.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, this is crazy to me. Seeing the kind of reactions on social media, people are so detached from reality. It's so crazy. You see it. They've done it with some, Ted Bundy and stuff like that, but they did it for that guy too. At the end of the day, the guy had a family, right? And the guy was a real person at the end of the day, no matter what his job title was. So this is a cold-blooded killer and a murderer who, thank God he got locked up because that man was really about to beat the case. He might not even be in the United States right now if he was smart. So I'm glad the FBI was able to do their job.
Hey, man, well said, Chris King. And that was my whole sentiment right there, man.
And three of us on the show are fathers.
Chris King's a future father on the show, right?
Y'all gotta find my Bucks lady in the Cream City crossover chat.
Okay. Shout out to Mel. But nah, for real though, like he got kids that woke up the next morning without a dad. He has a wife that woke up without a husband. That's bogus. Every which way you want to pin it, and I know. Hey, I'm sure all of us have someone that, hey, like Trey always says, tell a friend and tell a friend. I'm sure we all know someone that knows someone that knows someone that was affected by something insurance related, but that doesn't negate the fact that this man did not deserve to die in cold blood. And that's what's wrong with the whole thing, man. So, hey, man, Godspeed to his kids, Godspeed to his wife and the rest of his family, man. And hey, go sit down and serve your time, sir. That's what you deserve.
And it's a tough situation because you really can't make the jokes that like you typically would want to make. But I'm just quick side note. Did y'all see that report where apparently Buddy had a back injury that made it hard for him, impossible for him to have intimate relations?
Yes.
And like, was that true or not? Or was that like?
Well, I don't know about that, but what I heard was essentially that he kind of went crazy about a month ago. But some people saying he kind of went crazy because the back injury, he had to go through something with the insurance, whatever. And then, they got him onto these drugs. They got him onto all these type of. So that's kind of the story. I don't know, Ken. I don't know how true all this stuff is. All this is rumors, but apparently, that has been what's coming out is about this back injury. So again, just interesting stuff all the way around. A lot more to obviously come from it. But again, I think you guys summed it up pretty well there on everything. Yeah, the internet's a cruel.
It's crazy, man. That's wild, man. Because couldn't solve those issues with the honey pack. So, man, I know how he.
Honey pack.
With that honey pack.
The rhino pills at the gas station.
Hey, don't you take them gas station pills? You be in the hospital. You find out you got a heart issue and you didn't even know because they got 4 times the dosage of whatever.
In your veins.
Man. Be outside sprinting at 2 a.m.
Oh man,
I can't figure this thing out. Right, man, don't you do that?
All right,
that's better than the JT dating advice tonight, man.
Let's rein this in. I know there's some more things out there. This is Devin Day. We could have went a little longer, but 114-109. Bucks beat the Magic. Unfortunately, on Saturday. I guess unfortunately for the Cream City crossover, but fortunately for us, we will be in Dayton, Ohio. 3 out of 4 of us be in Dayton, Ohio for Dayton Marquette. So we will not have post game coverage on in the semifinal matchup. But it should be a good game. Maybe we might do a video at some point after, maybe a little quick video or something after that at some point. But we'll definitely, obviously, if they make the finals. What day does anybody know when the finals are?
Tuesday.
Okay, so if they're the finals, we'll definitely do that. You're right, that is Tuesday. So again, all congrats to the Bucks. See if we can. That's the goal. The goal is to win it this time. 114-109. Bucks win it. Final thoughts after the Bucks beat the Orlando Magic. They advanced to 13-11 on the season. The Magic fall to 17-10. Give me anything you got there as the Bucks beat the Orlando Magic, advance to Vegas, Emirates NBA Cup semifinals.
Hey, you know what? One game at a time. Y'all can't make me care about this cup, but let's win the games in front of us.
Yeah, and as much as the bad that I saw tonight and the bad that I highlighted tonight, I'm glad we got a win. I'm glad we started another win streak. And this is what happens over the course of an 82-game season. You have some off nights and you look ugly during a win, and sometimes you can look great during a loss. But tonight it was ugly during a win, and I would rather it be that than a loss and not playing for what would it be, like a couple weeks or 10 days, something like that. So glad we're able to move on and advance and get a dub.
Yeah, man. I mean, the way this team started out 2 and whatever, and now just any game isn't for certain for us. So we got to take all these wins and be happy with these wins. Hey, I'm excited for the Cream City crossover to get in person. Mm-hmm. Going to be missing the homie Big JT. We're going to light a flame for you. We're going to call it a load management night or whatever we're going to call it for you, big homie. But we got to get one live. So I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. For a playoff game, we got to get a Cream City Cream City crossover live from the Deer District.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be lit.
We got to do it.
See if we can find a way to make that happen. What you got?
That's why you got to
just a good win, man. Hey, we got to keep going, man. I know my Badgers didn't pull through tonight, but hey, man, Chris King about to go get go belt to ass lesson in Shaka School of press. Them little non-handling goofballs you got out there that belong with the boy from the Magic, they about to get that smoke. Tell your boy to make sure he wears a sting mask too, because we're gonna put that boy through a table like the Dudley boys do.
Testify. I got you. 114-109. Bucks beat the Magic tonight. I'm with you guys, man. A good win for the Milwaukee Bucks. Hey, you got the W. That's all I'm concerned about, right? Especially the 13-11. You got to get wins. That's what I want. The Bucks did it tonight. Damian Lillard clutch shooting at the end. Bobby Portis figured out what he does, and Giannis does what he does on a nightly basis. Hey, you guys could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you were here with us after the Bucks beat the Orlando Magic, so we appreciate you for it. Jesse, have one more. I see what you got.
Oh, man. Hey, one shout out to our winner though. We got to shout the winner out on the way out.
J-Frame
what's my
419.
J-Frame 419. If you hear it, if you got it, hit us up. But we'll find you, J-Frame 419. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate everybody who participated. Want to thank our sponsors, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, as always, proud sponsor of the Cream City crossover. Again, we'll do this. We'll keep rolling with you guys always, all the way through a fun NBA season. It's been up and down, the wrongs and the rights, and the just all the twists and the turns of a fun NBA season. The Bucks are right there in the thick of it at 13-11. Want to appreciate everybody for listening again. Hey, make sure you get those likes up. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, everything you can do. Really, it greatly helps us, and we appreciate it a great deal. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another friend about the Cream City crossover, your place to get all Milwaukee Bucks action. Number one post-game show. Yeah, I go out and say it's number one post-game show in for the Milwaukee Bucks. It is what it is. I don't care. That's all I got. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Checkers Alert.
JT.
Chris King.
Justin.
Hey, if I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth.